All right, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day for today. Bitcoin continues to go sideways over the last few days, but I think things are going to be looking pretty good here, give or take a week. But before we get started here, Loki's just jumped on me. If you guys didn't tell, I'm going to give him a quick treat. There you go. And boom, there we go. All right. So, I got a new fence put to my yard, so now I've been spending a lot more time outside with Loki without having to worry about him kind of wandering off. So I'm getting a little bit of a tan. Loki's having fun outside. Everything is going well. Now, as far as Bitcoin, what we're going to be doing today is really just diving into the technicals. You guys know I just got back from Vegas, was hanging out with CT right there at Tacos El Gordo, plus a nice cigar lounge that we went to. So it was definitely just a fantastic time all around. Did a lot of fun stuff with Opus Clip as well. So wanted to thank them for, sponsoring me continually and, things like that. So just a really good time. A lot of time at the pool, a lot of relaxation. It was part business trip, part like vacation for me, so I needed a little bit of a stress relief, especially with all this YouTube stuff going on. So back to normal. Things are going to be moving forward here. I'm going to be breaking down some of the new stuff on the channel, but today is primarily going to be technical analysis. Tomorrow is going to be primarily opening up different swing trade positions in altcoins and seeing if we can get anything good out of them. They will be smaller positions with leverage, so just be aware of that if you do want to copy those trades. They will be a little bit more risky, but I'm hoping that you guys just don't put so much capital into the positions just to protect yourself, okay? So without further ado, let's get started here. I got myself some freshly made coffee, which is why I was like a minute late to the stream. Almond milk and 2 Keurig cups, and we'll see how this tastes now. Tastes like a Keurig cup and 2. Oh, it actually tastes like coffee with melted water, melted ice. That's exactly what it tastes like right there. So, happy to see you, Villarat, CT, Bullshit, and Mo. Happy to see all of you guys here today. Bitcoin technicals. We've been talking about this for a minute here. Nothing has really changed overall. But besides the technicals here, I think what we have to be excited about is the fundamentals. And really, the news broke while I was in Vegas, so I wasn't able to expand upon it as much as I would like to. But what we really saw happen was, whether you guys want to say Trump caved, he gave up, he backtracked, whatever, Trump's strategy changed in the tariff war, and we saw that we're not having a massive tariff with everybody all at once across the world. We're basically just going heavy hitters with China, and now everybody else is doing some side deals here. And I think there's some good and bad parts about this for our economy. The bad is just that it did lead to a little bit more of a crazy market cycle. We do know that when we have these larger moves down on the stock market, it does lead to those longer term bearish signals still flashing for a while. So we might have been up even higher on the stock market, cryptocurrency markets, of course. But I think, Trump's calculations, a lot of people's calculations were short-term pain, long-term gain, and I think that still kind of applies here. A lot of countries hate our guts right now because of what Trump did, but at the at the same time, guys, they were kind of taking advantage of us, so I can't really blame them for being upset that now things have to be on an equal playing field here. So I'll see how that goes as well. And then we have some news coming out today as far as Trump trying to be a little bit more lenient when it comes to the auto tariffs and stuff like that. So we're going to be breaking all of that stuff down here. What I actually have to do for you guys right now is just see this channel right here. Just see it. It's nice. It's been pretty predictable so far. We haven't really gone below it or above it, and things have been looking pretty good, especially on the upward trend line here, because the bottom one didn't come into play here, but we've had this top one since all the way back over here, January 30th, which is a pretty long time here, right? Now, I did put this on using a daily chart, so if you guys move this over to the weekly chart, sometimes it may not work as well as you want it to. I don't know why. Right now I think it's working fine, but a few days ago I did it, that kind of like crisscrossed me for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why that was the case, but just in case you guys were doing the weekly charts, it seems like or daily ones, it seems like every now and again the weeklies are kind of weird, so just bear that in mind. Now, how do I want to explain this to you guys? Because you guys kind of know what I'm going to say here, but we just don't talk about it as much as I think. So, beyond the chart right now, you guys see those 2 moving averages. That'd be the green one, which is the 20-week moving average, and the blue one, which is the 50-week. Last week, I told you guys we are currently breaking down below the 50, but it really depends on how we end the week, because a lot of times when we've come into contact with the 50 here, we've managed to bounce off of it, and you can see it. According to at least right now, we've bounced off of it, and we've been looking pretty good here. We just don't come into contact with it so much here. Actually, in fact, let me actually lock this in place so that doesn't happen again. There we go. All right. Even when we had that massive capitulation back in November of 2021, we still went all the way from 42,000, launched it right back up here to 52,000. That was a $10,000 boom for Bitcoin. I'm not saying we're going to be going 10,000 bucks up because, of course, oops, let me move this right here. My microphone was coming out for a second, or my headset was coming out for a second. But yeah, typically we like to bounce. The last time we didn't really bounce off, I would say, is back in July of 2021. That was a long time ago, and I believe there was just some bad news coming out right before we eventually started popping off higher. I just don't recall what the news was back in the day. It was something pretty big, though, because that was when, no, I don't remember what it was. That was when we had the Elon Musk, Cathie Wood type of conversation that actually, on the next day after that, crypto just boomed. Now, for right now, you guys know I'm going with this. I bet. Go over here very fast. Maybe it's the longer term one that's having the issues here. Regardless, you guys see those two moving averages. You guys know that when we do have those death crosses here, it usually means a very bad thing is going to happen to Bitcoin. Usually. Well, in fact, as long as I can, go back into the death cross here for the blue and the green lines, 20 weekly moving averages, every single time, it's been an absolute disaster. Meanwhile, every time we've had the golden cross, it's been a fantastic time for everybody here, and it's a really great opportunity to buy if you're not going to use the 150-week moving rule that we have. But kind of diving back into this one right here for where we are right now, when we typically come pretty close to this breakdown, Bitcoin seems to find a way to just go parabolic and launch us a little bit higher. Again, it's not like it happens every now and again or every cycle, but we see crypto typically try to boom around that time, and that's after a couple months of consolidation, a few months of consolidation, and in this case, I forward just to back up a little bit here and put up a, there you go. This was about 224 days, so that's the 32 weeks of consolidation. 32, 36. Let's see right here. No, I think we stopped right around here. Yeah, consolidating. Yeah. We're only on 22 right now. All right. So things are happening a little bit faster. But I think, again, that's because of one major reason. That's the tariffs. You see the tariffs just freaking tank Bitcoin. I think we might have still broken down below the 20, but I think it would have been much more gradual like this. So we're kind of in this weird spot where the crypto market's a little bit of ahead of the stock markets, if you ask me. Now, if we're going to try to time this, though, and figure out how much longer do we have to wait, because if we're going through this path right now, even though we're slowing down here, we still have a death cross coming sometime in June, it would look like, right? So that means we have, the rest of April, May, June. That's about a month and a half to 2 months, I would say, we have before we need to see Bitcoin really start to jolt back up. I'd pare it down a little bit more to say something like a month if we want to see that pattern continue here. And that's why I brought up that trend line, though, because those trend lines right now are giving us an opportunity to see a breakout. So the MACD week over week is a little bit better. It's been doing that for the past 2 weeks here. Stochastic is still low, still coming down a little bit, but we are getting to the oversold territories, and the RSI is in the mid-tier zone right now. Nothing too crazy there, but we might be able to see an opportunity for that to cross back over. So right now, as we approach this trend line here, I want you guys to know we do still have about a month of consolidation, which we can go through to get into like early May. But because of the daily chart and kind of how everything is still bearish on those short-term ones, we're going to have to see some big news coming out over the next few days if you want to actually see this breakout. This could be Trump reaching a deal with China, Trump reaching a deal with the EU, the Ukraine war ending. Something massive like that is what's going to be needed here to see all of this really pop for us, if you will, okay? Because what we've had in the past were some breakouts, right? Breakouts like that, but they never really turn into anything great because those weekly charts are still so freaking bearish. And we've tried many, many times. So when I'm talking about tomorrow, when I'm going to be doing some opening trades with you guys, I think I'm going to be using BYDFi, maybe weeks. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm trying to figure out how I want to structure the portfolios for this. And then we'll be kind of full steam ahead on buying maybe about $1,000 worth of altcoins with about 5x leverage, and we'll kind of see where that goes, I would say. But we do see everything bullish right now. So what this is giving you guys an opportunity for, or I would say it was giving you an opportunity until maybe the next couple of days, we were having a much better opportunity of getting some day trades in there. So if you guys were able to go to the 1 hour chart over the last few days, you guys saw, again, when we were able to get some of these smaller breakouts like this, with everything kind of flowing a little bit better, you were able to get those moves. The only thing is, if you guys didn't use Fibonacci levels, you might have thought you were going a little bit too high, so you can go from like, you know, low, high, low, right? You're just aiming for some of these moves right over here. In fact, this one might not be the best one. It might be this one. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And right now that's above. So we are seeing us hit out some of those levels. If you guys have been day trading, I think it's been good. My fear here is for the next few days, though, is you can kind of see this uptrend happening right now. We've broken down, we're consolidating a little bit more here, and we're seeing that the 1 hour is getting a little bit more choppy. We're seeing that the 4 hour is starting to get a little more bearish here. So I am concerned that we might get a little bit of bearish divergence here, and that may lead to Bitcoin coming back down here below 80,000 bucks. It would feel kind of crazy. It would feel kind of like, oh my God, what's happening? But in reality, I think it would just be a quick little drop before an attempt to break back out again. You know, I'm seeing this golden cross. I'm seeing this death cross here. These golden crosses usually don't mean too much on the 4 hour chart to me. When was the last time we crossed back over there? This one was okay. I mean, obviously that one wasn't. So again, it's just a little bit more choppy, and it's not as definitive as I would like it to be. But that being said, I think a lot of people are going to be looking for an opportunity for a breakout here. If Bitcoin does manage to break out, I just want to reinforce this here, that we are looking at a big, massive level of resistance around 87,500, between 87,500 and $88,000 basically. And then if we're able to break out above that, then maybe we get a push up here to 98,000. I am not anticipating something of a more parabolic run. If you guys want to have that vibe with your trades, just scale out about 80% of your trades, or scale 80% out of your position after the breakout happens, and you kind of reach a price target that you're happy with, and let the rest of it kind of float around a little bit and see if you guys are able to make a little bit more of a profit there. I do think, because a lot of our cycle is driven by news right now, man, I'm definitely more inclined to just take a few shots here and there. You guys know over the last few weeks I took 2 shots here. One that I made money writing up here. The other one that I lost because we broke down below the support right here. And of course, if I would have just kept on holding on to it, I'd be fine, but I had my rules and I stuck to my rules. So luckily this one was a leverage position. This one was definitely not, because I was giving like a month timeline here. I told you guys, I think before I went to Vegas, that it stopped out. Oh no, I told you guys Sunday as it was crashing that I probably would get stopped out. Sorry, making sure when I roll my little chair around, I'm not going to be running over Loki's tail or something like that. But yeah, so right now I think Bitcoin's okay. I was hoping for a little bit more of a move, I would say, from some of these altcoins, but we really haven't seen them. So I'm kind of hoping that as Bitcoin has an opportunity to break out next week or the week after, altcoins will kind of pick up a little bit. We've had a little bit of sporadic moves, but let me show you guys this in a second. Here, so look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. See how Bitcoin's been able to hold up over the last few weeks pretty well. Ethereum has not really at all. I would say with Ethereum, it's just now starting to have its daily MACD crossover. You go over here to the weekly charts. It's still been choppy, and nothing's been like really like great about it. But from looking at the stochastic here, you know, we are at a bottom. So if you guys are looking at this from a historical standpoint, when you do get to the bottom, we have our cross back over. Well, usually okay. Usually. Now, it may happen pretty fast like over here. It may happen over here when you cross down below. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be buying some Ethereum here. Man, this is a little bit more of a risky thing because of how volatile this can be. But I do like the stochastic a lot. And it would only be one of the 3 signals popping off. But I think it's worth it for me just because, you know, all these different trend lines that we could be using to find support levels and stuff like that, they're so whacked out right now that I wouldn't be using any of these things, right? Like, you're looking for the long term, sure, you know, but I'd really just be looking for that massive breakout down the road. You go back over here a little bit more, right? We've already had those breakdowns and choppiness. It really didn't amount to anything because it kind of follows Bitcoin more than anything else. But just looking at that chart There you go. Right here. I don't know what you guys think, but I think I might want to buy some Ethereum here to see if we can get some type of bounce up. It just has not been a good bounce up. Look at Solana. I mean, look how much more Solana has been able to pound back up here over the last few years in this cycle. I mean, Solana, it already, it went down to its support level here and it kind of bounced off of it. I think of the daily one. Yeah, there was an order block somewhere down here. This one, yeah, basically a big order block down here. But this is having a little bit better of a turnaround here. Maybe if you guys want to be a little bit safer, maybe you can go with Solana. But I just think Ethereum is much more oversold than Solana is at this point in time. So I'm hoping that Ethereum can have something of a larger boom. For example, Solana is up around 0.68% today, but Ethereum is up 1.5%. May not seem like a lot, but it is up around, twice. So that's something I'm looking at this point in time. As far as other altcoins out there, I already have enough Dogecoin. I'm not going to be buying back into that anytime soon. I have enough of it. I'm waiting. This has been coming down quite a bit. It is hitting a level of support that we haven't seen it hit for a while. Still nowhere close to a breakout, but if those of you guys want dollar cost average, you're fine. And again, oversold stochastic, oversold stochastic. Last time we had the oversold stochastic was, when's the last time the orange? Jesus, we haven't been down here in a minute. Okay, way back over here. And that might have happened so fast that I don't know if this would have been a good thing for you. But at least the last time we had a similar type of move with the stochastic indicator, it did end up giving us some profit here. And you can imagine it was a pretty sad little thing to watch Dogecoin come back from 23 cents all the way back to 8 cents after we had finally gotten some momentum going down. I was trying to find some other tokens earlier, but I was like, I think PopCat flew for a little bit. Let me go over here to the daily chart. Pop. Oh, we might have started a new day here. That's what it might have been. Okay, I don't know how to find it, so there you go. The worst thing about this new computer setup that I have is my computer is just a little bit further away from my face. And I have, these glasses are great for like long distance. I can see freaking leaves. I got like cherry blossoms all over my freaking yard. It's fantastic. But for whatever reason, reading on a computer, I feel like I need the old people like magnifier a little bit there. So PopCat Binance. There we go. So you can see over the last few days, PopCat's just been absolutely booming. It's booming right now, trying to break out. I don't know if this is an accurate representation of the trend line here, so let me just point it out so I can figure it out. It would not be an accurate representation of the trend line here, so. And where would be the point here? There you go. See, it looks a little bit nice that way. So we are currently testing at a resistance level as well as that order block. So keep an eye out for PopCat. If Bitcoin continues to go higher, even if it's bit by bit, you may see PopCat actually have a pretty significant bounce. I'd more be day trading it than trying to swing trade it. But once that momentum is there, you can really make some good trades on this. Probably nothing more than a 5x leverage. But if you guys are a little bit more experienced, you guys have been through the grind, you can pop it up to as much leverage as you guys want to. But let me just kind of zoom out very fast and just go through a few different charts on the weekly so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There's a few that have managed to have these bounces, but not many of them. So if we go over here to Trump token, meh. Melania token. Whiff right over here, still having an issue here. Bonk, not yet. Miro, not yet. Baby Doge, not yet. But finding support on Baby Doge at least. Book of Meme, Sheep's finding some support. Pepe, I might have to buy Pepe. This thing's been a trooper. I know it doesn't look like it. If I zoom out a little bit, this thing has been great so far this cycle. Floki's been down quite a bit. Milady, ADA, there's still a lot of stuff that looks like complete, horse doo-doo. AXS, I mean, that thing is still bleeding out here. But if I can find something for the last week or so that's actually been holding up okay, I think I'm going to be more aligned with that. Like you see, XRP still managing to hold up okay. We talked about the support level here, but I mean, my God, it bounced, but at what cost? It just completely fell back down to 161 here, right? And I sold a lot of my XRP way back over here as it was popping because I was holding it for so long. So coinmarketcap.com. I don't know if you guys can see all this, so maybe I can actually take away. I don't think we need market cap. Was that the one I added that made it kind of funky? Yeah, I did. Okay. Last 7 days, Bitcoin is up 8%. Last 7 days, Ethereum is at 5%. But Bitcoin over the last 30 days is actually neutral right now. And I think this is where Bitcoin, you see that Bitcoin dominance continue to go higher and higher and higher. Bitcoin is up around 0.5% last 30 days. Ethereum is down 15. XRP is down 10. BNB is down 4. Solana is down 2. Tron is up 13. I know I rave about Tron, and one of the reasons is I party a lot with their guys during the big expos and things like that. But I do like the fact that you can transfer money, which a lot of people are doing right now because everything is going absolutely insane for $1. Something about that dollar fee in my frugality, we mesh very nicely. Very, very nicely. Now, we got ADA down 14%, Dogecoin down 8%, Leo down 4%, Link down 8%, AVAX is up 9%, which is kind of nice. But I mean, again, we got Stellar down 12%, Sheep down 5%, and Sui down 5% as well. So there's not many tokens, my point being, that are actually having some nice moves. However, if we do see a Bitcoin break in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and that'll be the focus of our overall streams and things like that, we should be able to find some good stuff here, okay? So that's my big thing here. And if any of you guys have any questions, let me know. But I am pretty hopeful that the next week or so, we could actually have a nice move for Bitcoin going a little bit higher. The only thing I see worrying me right now and again is some of that short-term moves, because the weekly momentum isn't strong. I don't really think we're going to be breaking out like immediately. If we break out immediately, for me, that'd be a news event, and then still the bearish technicals would still pull us down a little bit more, unless it's something Fed and interest rate related. Then I think we can go like, oh, full sales ahead, let's go, baby. But obviously, we're not there yet. Jerome Powell still thinks the economy is A-OK, and it is not. But yeah, so let me see right here. And hey, Shiba and Doge, haven't seen you forever, dude. My computer's been having so many issues. I got a new computer built. Let me see if I can show you guys right here. So I got a computer built by these guys. It's still in the process of being made right now. But basically, what it is, without getting too deep into it, I got their Mountain Series PC, and I got it with I think Rainier. Yeah, the XL one. Yeah. And basically, I got the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X3D. I got the NVIDIA 5080 because they are out of stock of the 5090. I got the 96 gigabytes. I got the 4 terabytes. I got the... Maybe I got the extra... I'm not sure if I got the Kraken or not. I got one of these. And I got the stock fan, and then I think just some cables and stuff like that. So it should be a pretty nice computer. Plus, I got some extra stuff subbed in and out. A little bit more expensive, but definitely worth it. So yeah, so once I get the new computer in the next week or so, I should be humming along here, because my goal is to do something like this when I'm streaming with you guys. But like the first hour of the stream is me kind of doing something more of a show where I'm talking a lot more, kind of pointing out all the news of the day. And then for the second hour, I'm more of doing technical analysis and doing some deep dives on tokens and stocks and things like that. Maybe going over some breaking news that happens midday. And then maybe if we have a third hour, that's where we're just chilling and talking and having a good time and just kind of going over news and what's on X and Twitter and things like that. And that kind of brings me into the next part of this, where this will change a little bit here. And you guys know I've been trying to change stuff a little bit, but because of my computer, I haven't been able to really like jump into this type of idea a lot more. But I've been trying to change the channel structure, which you guys have been seeing me do more shorts, more long form videos. I did one today when I was outside with Loki. I'm going to be doing a lot more shorts, but they're going to be like longer shorts, up to 3 minutes long. And there's not going to be any TA or thoughts about that, like any technical analysis. It'll be like cut up rants from Opus clip of me talking to you guys and stuff like that. It'll be more of breaking news that are coming out on X or CNBC.com or Fox Business and me talking about that. I'm going to post daily technical analysis videos from now on, but they're going to be posted around midnight, so it'll be like between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. And I find that because by the time I post a technical analysis video sometime around 11 o'clock in the midday, most of you guys have already at work and you guys can't watch it, so you guys can like have an more opportunities to watch it before work if I post early in the morning, so that'd be kind of interesting. I'm going to be aiming to have afternoon streams, but you guys are going to know by 12 o'clock if I'm streaming or not. Sometimes I just have to be in Seattle. Sometimes my grandparents want to go to dinner. And that specific time that I had been trying to stick to, it just been getting obliterated because dinner with family, dinner with sisters in town, dinner with friends up in Seattle, you know, like all this stuff's been happening. And it's been very hard to kind of manage all of that. So I'm going to be trying to do streams in the afternoon. I will set them up before noon. So like if like today I set the stream up around like 10:30, 11, so you guys would know that I'd be live right now, kind of around that 4:30 time frame. I'm hoping that once I get my computer, I will have like at least an hour stream, like around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on average every night. But then I can also do more midday streams, which I think will be very helpful. I haven't been doing midday streams as much, and that's just because typically I'm just kind of tired and exhausted, and I usually use that time to kind of go do my workouts and stuff because I just walk a little bit more. Like you remember, I sprained my ankle about last month, and a client took me to San Antonio with all those women that eat churros. My ankle is still swollen from being sprained then. So, and then I went to Vegas, and it's still it's still like big old little ball thing. So, uh, so it's still like slowly healing up right now. So I try to do my exercise in the midday. And then as far as the day-to-day videos that you guys are going to see, I am going to try to do the longer videos, like 10 to 15 minute long videos on topics when I have time. So these are going to be like rants or just news updates, but really just 15 minutes of talking about the big piece of news of the day. I could be doing a rant like I was ranting about, Trump and the tariffs, because I really don't understand the strategy behind it, because I think it could have been like much more efficient. And then I'll be trying to do 2 tutorials a week. And then I will be moving on to some short form streams every now and again. So let's say later on tonight, I'll hit up the cigar lounge around 7 o'clock. That's a couple hours from now. If I'm not talking to anybody, like none of my friends are there and stuff like that, I'll pull out my gimbal out of my bag or in my car, like, this thing right here that I use. And then I will put my phone in it, and I'll just start smoking a cigar and talking with you. It just depends on if they have music blasting outside, because then, of course, YouTube will not like that. But I think that's kind of a good gist here. So that's kind of the goal of my channel. I'll be moving this stuff up a little bit more. But I am hoping to do 2 tutorials a week, and I will be doing some polling to see what type of tutorials you guys are looking for. So keep an eye on that one. Most of my tutorials that are like most successful are all around smart money concepts. But I'm hoping that I can do some momentum stuff with you guys as well, because momentum is definitely the best strategy I found that works for me. It just requires people to not freak out. With every little day-to-day move. It's more of like, what's happening on the larger time frames for however you're trading. So that's about it for this type of stuff. As far as news today, let me go back over here a little bit more. We talked about this already, but auto stocks rises. Trump says he wants to help some car companies. I actually think that was pretty cool. Trump aide Hassett says U.S. government got an amazing tariff deal, offers recession 100% not happening. At this point, I don't really blame Trump if we go into a recession. I would blame Jerome Powell for not seeing that in the data he keeps on claiming is going to tell him everything. And he didn't cut rates when he was supposed to, which I think should have already been happening by now. Again, he doesn't have to cut by half a basis point or a full basis point. A quarter of a point is more than enough. And again, he doesn't have to do it month after month after month, but he should start that process here to get investment back up, because again, Trump isn't enough to the American psyche to not spend money, that I think he's been helping inflation come down quite a bit. Now, I think inflation now is right now is sitting at 2.4%. It'll probably go back up to 2.6, 2.7 next month, but that's still pretty good if we think about how much chaos has been out there, right? And how much we have done all the tariff stuff and all that type of stuff over there. Now, the one piece of news I wanted to talk to you guys about right here was U.S. businesses sue to block Trump tariffs, say trade deficits are not an emergency. I don't think this is really going to work for them, to be honest, but I'm curious to see if it will have any impact. I think all this power really belongs to the Congress, but because the Congress has been getting lazier and lazier over the past few years, or decades, yeah, I don't think they really want to deal with it. So it's kind of one of those powers. If Trump wasn't going to use it, nobody was going to use it, because the Congress was definitely not going to be putting tariffs on other countries and things like that. So it says a group of small businesses sued President Donald Trump, seeking to block new tariffs that he has imposed on foreign imports in recent weeks. The lawsuit in the United States Court of International Trade alleges that Trump has illegally usurped Congress's power to levy tariffs. The suit says Trump's claim that trade deficits with other countries constitute an emergency is baseless. So again, Trump has fallen asleep right there, or having it's more of a power posing thing. Look at that eagle above his head. He knew what he was doing when he sat down there. Yeah. So again, it's only 5 small businesses. I don't think it's really that big of a deal, but this is something you may hear more about over the next few weeks. let's see. Back over here. Okay. Now, I think there was one other thing I wanted to show you guys, but I don't know if it's still up on the news for Cointelegraph here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's still there. So I don't know if you guys knew, Mantra CEO says OM token recovery primary concern but in early stages. So over the last few days, the OM token absolutely crashed and burned with a fury of 1,000 suns, and it was crazy to watch. I think it went from somewhere to like $5 billion, which if you look on coinmarketcap.com, again, I should probably put that market cap back on there. There's a reason for it. Where are we looking at? There we go. There we go. That would have put it somewhere around 23 to 25, maybe 26 of total market cap out there, right? So it was a pretty large token. It was in the top 100, it was top 50, maybe even around the top 30, right? Top 25, basically. Yeah, top 25. That token went from $5 billion market cap all the way to like 500 million, and it was because of the bad market leading to an individual who had a lot of tokens that were leveraged, had a massive liquidation, and it just killed the chart immediately. So what I want to show you guys is what OM looks like very fast. That's what we're looking at right there. I don't know if this thing survives because the liquidations must have been insane. I would say if you guys had a short on this one, I think you're in pretty good shape here. I haven't seen a bottom for this yet. The 4-hour chart's trying to fall, like slow down right here. It looks like it may just be consolidating before another move down. But if you guys ever did want to do a long YOLO, you know what I mean? This could be it because again, the fundamentals haven't ultimately changed. And again, I think we may have an opportunity for a bull market breakout down the road. But that drop, I'm very curious to see if I myself want to get into it. If you do this, I would say like a 2 to 5x leverage, reliably, you know, seriously, just a 2x leverage. And then you have a hard... Actually, I would do 2x leverage and then do an isolated trade and not a shared trade. That way the leverage doesn't impact any of your other positions, because if it just, you know, your whole system could be liquidated off of one nasty move from this. So I definitely do that in isolated trade. So if it drops 50% from where you buy it, then you lose the money. But honestly, I'd rather have that safety net there than anything else. But yeah, so just keep an eye on OM. This can be a little bit of a fun thing to look at here. This isn't something like kind of reminds me of Luna from last year. I think I was talking to Babyfish about that. Except for Luna was a little bit different because Luna was going up and up and up while Bitcoin fell and fell and fell. You guys can see this thing was falling just as Bitcoin was falling here. It just happened to be a massive liquidation hit this sucker. And now everybody is just like, that held it, everybody is freaking scared as can be. And just pointing out one more time up here, futures are down a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to really concern me at this point. What we've seen is Bitcoin come back up, but of course the Dow Jones has been coming back up. Look at that, trying to fill the gap right there. The NASDAQ has come back up, and the SPY has come back up. Everything is actually having a pretty nice move right now, despite all the chaos we saw last week. It's kind of crazy to see actually how fast all of this can really come around to being not great, but like better, just off of the president like backing off his tariff stance here. All right, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Gold is still doing pretty good. The dollar index is still coming down here, which I think is a pretty good sign for us, depending on what you guys are looking at. And oil continues to stay at these low levels. I don't know about you guys, but oil prices have been coming down. That's been very good. AAA, gas prices. Gas. Okay, there we go. Yeah, gas is $3.18 right now. A week ago it was $3.25, and a month ago it was $3. So actually, gas has gone up in the last month. A year ago it was $3.63. So again, overall it's still come down a lot. But I wonder what's happening with that. What happened a month ago? Oil was still pretty good a month ago. Yeah. I wonder if we had some of the production increases that we were talking about. That could have been it. But I'll have to do a deeper dive into that. So if you guys have any questions on tokens or anything like that, I'm free to help you guys out. We can do some technical analysis and chill. I got music blasting in my ears to kind of keep me pepped up and stuff because I have not been getting enough sleep from that Vegas trip. And I also got some strong coffee here. Oh my god, it was strong. With some yummy almond milk. All right. And hey, Crypto Cruise, happy to see you, my man. And hey, Wilder, happy to see you as well. I know I haven't been streaming as much as I wanted to since I got back from Vegas, just because I've been fixing up my computer a little bit. I moved my computer into a spot where, like, if I move around a little bit, because, you know, like, I bumped my computer, hopefully it shouldn't, like, cut off on me, so we'll see how that works out. And hey, I'm happy to see you as well. Do I use all chart patterns indicator? It depends on which one. 2-minute review on it. All chart patterns. Is it the one where it's I have it on my thing. Is it the premium one I think that they have from TradingView? Could be this one. I've seen this one before. I like the pattern. I don't like the target. I will try to make a tutorial for you sometime this week on it if this is the one you're talking about. But let me tell you ahead of time, the targets for this, I'm not really that large fan of it. Right? Patterns, all awaiting and reached, only awaiting, last awaiting. I like to play around with those a little bit here, but I usually don't put the price target on. Like, again, let me go over here very fast. Let's get rid of smart money, just to kind of show you what I mean. Target is all the way up here on, oh God, see, this is right. Okay, there we go. 124,000 bucks. We did not hit that target at all. But again, there's news that happens, and that's my issue. Let me actually just go over here to maybe a 15-minute chart so you can see what I'm talking about in the short term. There we go. Oh God, I'll just go to the weekly chart for now. I don't want to have to like move it down just to the last one. Let's see. All this is usually on in progress. Yes, that works out for me. But when it comes down to actually getting the price target, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. Right, something like that. But in reality, you know, the one we've been using is that longer term one, and you kind of fix that together with it, and that's more of my style. And these targets just aren't really that good. Maybe you might even try something like this once you actually have the cup and handle established, right? But I think for this one, I think it was set up to, yeah, for the one up here. And of course, it went up when we had some the rate hike stuff, but still, usually that kind of works better for me. But I'll make a tutorial for you. I got to look into this a little bit more to figure out what's the best setup for it. Right now, I haven't used it enough to be what I would call expert or knowledgeable enough to make a full-on tutorial for it. If I made a tutorial, it'd probably be anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes. It's not longer than like really 2 minutes, right? But I'd probably just do that so in case you have like a random question or something like that, I can just like try to fill it in with some of my extra knowledge I have. I might have actually made a tutorial on it at the beginning, but I don't know if it was a paid tutorial back in the day. I think, yeah, I swore this was a premium indicator on TradingView. I think it was at one point, because I think I made a tutorial for it back in the day, but it was when it was a premium, so they might have changed it a little bit, actually. Chart patterns. Yeah, automated patterns 10 months ago. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so I did make one. It was a minute long. See, it wasn't even 2 minutes long. But I was just showing you guys how to set it up and everything like that. I'll make a longer one here for you pretty soon. I remember I have so much stuff from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll definitely make another one for you. No worries. How am I feeling about Dogecoin? I'm still fine with Dogecoin long term. But right now, momentum is definitely being killed. Week over week, it's still getting a little bit better. I think Dogecoin should see some divergence here pretty soon. I'm not going to really get too concerned with Dogecoin until we start to see something more of a breakdown off of that trend line. this has just been bleeding out over the last few months, which was crazy because Dogecoin was actually a great performer for last year, like a fantastic performer. This is what, December. There you go. So start of the year at 7 cents. By the time 2025 rolled around, what? Up 558%. I mean, it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. But right now, it's giving up a lot of those gains like it did partway through the middle of 2024. This was all, Trump election type stuff. But even back over here in September, when we started to get that jolt and get back up for that breakout, that was all because of interest rates. So I'm not too concerned with Dogecoin because I know there's still enough of an excitement around it. But I don't think it's going to see any really great, massive swings to the upside unless Bitcoin has a big breakout. And I think that Bitcoin big breakout will eventually have to happen because of what's been going on with interest rates. So that means Jerome Powell on an FOMC meeting day has to come out to the podium and say, we are cutting interest rates by a quarter basis points due to so and so and so and so and so and so and so whatever. But we're gonna have to wait for that, and that comes to a lot. That's the same thing for a lot of altcoins here. But I am more optimistic about something like Dogecoin. That's because I've held it for a while. But you can see when things happen, there's still a lot of people that still want to pump the shit out of this. They want to buy the shit out of it, and because they've already seen it go parabolic in the past, they're not having as many concerns. Right? Not going to have nearly as many concerns. Although the market cap is much higher. But at this point, Dogecoin's market cap isn't so high that it's not worth buying into it. No, we don't react to bad news. I react to bad news daily. um, and hey, RTX 858 is one you want. Oh yeah, that's definitely the one I got then. Yeah. And hey, Nico. Hey, Nate. Happy to see you guys. And here, vertebrae. There you go. Yeah. TradingView having an Easter sale? Oh, well, if you guys want to buy it, I have a link down below to get you guys maybe a discount on it. Let me go over here and say, I don't even know. I don't think I've ever. So I see the Black Friday sale. Oh yeah, here we go. TradingView Easter sale up to 80% off. This is on Reddit. Is it the same as the Black Friday sale, except for there was one extra month free? Let's see. Expert Ultimate. What the heck? Who's getting the Expert Ultimate packages? Let me see. It's not even telling me there's a sale right now, so I don't know. I get the premium one, but you guys know I get it on Black Friday, so I save like 70-80% off of it, and it's great. Absolutely fantastic. But I'll try to find out more information about it, make a video for you guys as well. Let's see. Is the run over? I don't think the run is over, just because I haven't seen any data that suggests we're going into like a recession or something like that. For me, it's kind of like this weird hiatus thing where we've kind of been through it before. Like, you look at this Dogecoin chart, you can see we went through a wave of downward move in 2024, and the big boom only lasted for about a month. That's how long these moves last. Go back over here, even for something like Ethereum. Ethereum had a horrible mid-2024, and then it popped, right? Solana. Solana actually held steady. That's what I actually started to like Solana a little bit more. Let me see. Book of Meme, not doing so hot. Sheeb, again, that nasty move, then the big move right there. Pepe, nasty, a little bit. Sell came up a little bit more. Listen to me, guys. It's been sunny, and so I've been outside, so I'm actually getting some allergies from the pollen here, which I'm not used to. But yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, the move's not over, but you're definitely seeing some altcoins really bleed out against other ones. Depending on how much money you have invested in this right now, you could always just stop putting more money into crypto and kind of like learn to day trade or swing trade and things like that. I think that's what most of you guys are probably doing right now. But if you guys do want to keep on dollar cost averaging more and more and more, which again, I've been doing that selectively. So what am I talking about? I'm still optimistic that we can have more of a bull run here. The variables around all of this bull market, bear market stuff that we've been seeing, it makes it so hard to try to lock down exactly what's going to happen. For me, I have a few indicators just to kind of give myself, oh yeah, this is going to be good time, this is going to be bad time. And really, for me right now with Bitcoin, it comes back to that weekly moving average and moving averages between the 50-week and the 20-week. If we have that death cross, to me that's terrifying. But if we can still manage to hold out and do okay, I think we'll be fine. But we won't know for a couple more months. You know, even going over here, something like the NASDAQ. Right? We haven't had a monthly death cross in a minute. Usually these happen well after we've started to kind of come back down here. But, you know, we've had a pretty nasty MACD turnaround here. But, you know, when you look at historically, you know, we've had choppy times before. Again, this was caused by interest rates over here, so hopefully interest rates aren't going to have too much of an impact on us. Go over here to the weekly chart. Bearish over here, a little bit bearish over here. And it's not enough to really say, oh my god, everything is over. You know, and again, I mean, let me back up a little bit here so you guys can see. No death cross over here, but I mean, this one looks like it's for certain. That's what really kills me here. The stock market ones look for certain. So, nasty move. Nasty move, but like a really small one. So I had to like really zoom in here. This one wasn't bad. That wasn't one. This one was pretty bad, of course, in 2008. I mean, and of course, this one was really bad over here back in 2000. So more times than not, those death crosses just lead to complete disasters. You know, one could argue that the economy is very different than what it was back in 2000, 2008. Heck, even back, you know, in 2018, things are completely different now. We have this massive AI boom. We got the global economy kind of doing some weird stuff. I'm really hoping that Donald Trump is working out a deal with Russia right now, because I think that's like the golden horse that can really like calm everybody down. Or, I know Democrats would freaking hate that I say this, but like, if we can't make a deal, I think we should open up trade to Russia with very low interest rates, so like we're making money off of them. But I think Europe would probably like fucking hate us forever for doing that type of stuff. So I doubt it'll happen. There we go. But yeah, what's more concerning to me, I would say, than the crypto death crosses, again, right, death cross. The SPY happened so fast with COVID, nothing really bad happened. Over here, didn't matter as much. Over here, mattered pretty well, a few months of going down. Of course, over here, nasty move, 2000, nasty move. Yeah, right. Yeah, kind of a sketchy time. But of course, depending on what you're looking at here, we've already broken down from there, so it's kind of already foretold that we're supposed to go back down. The good thing about the stock market, though, is no matter how bad the technicals may look, there's usually some fundamentals to kind of save us. So, kind of feels like we've already been kind of in this bear market for like a while here with altcoins. It's Bitcoin and Solana and a little bit of Ethereum, which has been able to hold up here. Not much else has been able to hold up. You know, you can go to your individual stocks and stuff like that, but those are the Warren Buffett type of stocks where everybody piles in there. So, you know, it gets a little bit more tricky, I would say. Let's go over here to the 4-hour chart. Nice little double bottom breakout. Slam back down afterwards, too. Usually go midway to where the AI sets the target. I think that's realistic. Right there. Yeah. It is premium. Okay, there you go. And hey, Larry, happy to see my man Shoto Fear. If Doge ever goes to 0.6 again, I'm going to take a bank loan out and put it all in. And hey, Digital K, happy to see you as well. I don't know. Like with Dogecoin, a lot of these other tokens right now, I think I'm not buying as much because I already have so much. Like if you guys don't have many tokens, I think that's like a good opportunity to start buying up a few here and there, especially while they're so cheap. But like I hate the feeling of averaging up, which is weird because most people are averaging down. But for some of these older tokens, I have like a Dogecoin or even a Matic, I'm still kind of averaging up in most cases, which can definitely drive you a little bit crazy. Like, oh no, now my average is higher and higher and higher. You know, I'm typically waiting for something else. like Larry, when I think about like, ooh, if I ever had the chance to get a massive loan when I see cryptos at this level, typically what I'd be doing is I'd be doing that 100 weekly moving average or the 150 weekly moving average move. Remember, guys, if we're not close to like a market bottom at any time here, but if you go over here to a weekly chart and you go over here and there's no MAs on here, I think this one's called the SMA now. Yeah, moving average simple. What a dumb name. So okay, let me go over here. Oh, I only needed one actually, not two. Let's go over here and make this a orange line, thicker. And there's two ways you could do this, guys. This is a 100 weekly moving average. Usually when Bitcoin breaks down below this, you're usually going to be wanting to buy those weeks afterwards. So buy here, buy here. If you're able to hold for the long term, you can make some really, really good money. Again, buy anywhere over here. Whenever it does break out, which it always breaks back out above it, right? You make some good money off of it. We are pretty freaking close to it right now. Now it's at like 58,000 bucks, but we are getting closer to it. And the other one here, I think that's more important, more fine-tuned, I would say, is the 150 weekly moving average. And we got one over here. Boom, boom, boom. Break back above it. Usually looking at a pretty good time here. This one we're much further away from, but if we do manage to break down below this, to me that's like really when we're in certified not bear market territory, because we're already kind of in a bear market right now, but it's more of crypto winter phase. That's where crypto winter really hits here. Like, damn, look at my Bitcoin, it's down so in like 50%, 60% since I bought it at the all-time highs. That's that type of oh my god type of moment that you see happening. But that's if I was going to take out a loan, it'd be right about that time, always. Like, that thing works very, very well. We're just not really close enough to it right now for me to like be like, oh my god, the end times are here. There we go. Let me poke this over here very fast. I just want to double check something on my side. There we go. Let's see. Slides, no. Oddly enough, pretty slow news for a Monday, if I do say so. Bed Bath & Body Works is up 7%. Like, oh, there we go. Let's see. In phase up a little bit. Let me see. This is from Monday, April 14th. So this is from today. Unemployment fears hit worst level since COVID as tariffs fuel inflation outlook. Let me see. The probability that unemployment rate will be higher a year from now surged to 44%, up 4.6 percentage points at the highest of level going back all the way to early COVID pandemic. Okay, let's see. When they say it like that, it sounds like it surged to 44%, up 4.6%. That means it was already at 43.4% or something like that. No, something like that. Whatever. It was already pretty high before this month's data came out. So I'm not seeing the surge they're talking about. But again, it sells to say surge and all the extra adjectives. I feel like adjectives were made back in like English, when we were all taking English classes, just as a way to bullshit. Let's see. The central bank's monthly survey and consumer expectations showed that respondents saw inflation a year from now at 3.6%, an increase of a half a percentage point from February and the highest reading since October 2023. But see, again, 3.6. We're at 2.4% right now. Doesn't that show how crazy this is right now? Like, yeah, okay, well, we're about to go over to X and kind of read some of the news here very fast. But the Trump administration freezes $2.2 billion in grants to Harvard. Dude, they get $2.2 billion from the freaking government? That is insane. That is insane. Let's see. The Trump administration on Monday night said it was freezing $2.2 billion in grants to Harvard University over concerns about its anti-Semitism on campus. Oh, okay. Let's see. So the freeze was announced hours after Harvard flatly rejected demands by the Trump administration to eliminate its DEI programs and screen international students for ideological concerns, putting nearly $9 billion in federal funding for the university at risk. Oh, now it just became breaking news. Okay. Let's go over here to X. Twitter. Right now. Let's see. I could have swore I had it set up for this, but I think this will be fine for now. Is Harvard trending #1? That's the question. No, it's WWE Raw. El Salvador. Oh, there it is, Harvard. Okay. Let me just make sure there's something with El Salvador. It could be El Salvador with Bitcoin stuff, but it's probably El Salvador with politics stuff. Okay. New El Salvador's president just issued a challenge for Trump. You have 350 million people to liberate. This wasn't a photo op, it was a mission briefing. At the White House, El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, looked President Trump in the eye and said, you have 350 million people to liberate. Okay. I don't really care about the immigration stuff. Immigration's usually going pretty well right now. Harvard University, this is their post. The university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. Neither Harvard nor any other private university can allow itself to be taken over by the federal government. Again, you could argue that all the colleges have already been taken over by the federal government because of all the money the government's been giving them over the years, right? Now, if they don't want to implement the government's will to a certain degree, like, hey, don't put terrorists in your schools, whatever they're doing that Trump doesn't like so much, right? They do run the risk of losing all the money that the government gives them. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's all kind of tax dollar revenue. So, you know, it's not going to be pretty there. Congratulations to Harvard for refusing to relinquish its constitutional rights under the Trump authoritarianism. Oh, okay. Harvard said, yeah, no thanks, we're good without your money. But they're not. Interesting, okay. But see, this is why I don't like X, because it's not showing me any of the new news. Let's see. Five hours. Welcome to the party, pal. Let's see. It must just be so breaking. I don't know. Let's see. No, X is just not the place for breaking news right now. My God. If something's been trending all day, this does not know how to, like, give you the newest news there. So let me go over here to explore. NVIDIA. Okay. Nope. We got to rely on what do you call. Let's see. I do want to see another Godzilla movie, but I guess it's not that important, this stuff. Let's see. Oh, this is the same thing we just looked at. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. There we go. And hey, damn crypto. Hey, Michael, did you find out why YouTube demonetized your channel? Bro, I have no idea. I'm actually really ticked off about it. I feel like I'm about to go to my local congressman in the state of Washington, not the federal government one, and I'm like, hey, can you like just help me out with this and see what's going on? She can't do anything, of course, but like, can you pass a bill so I know exactly what the issue is? So let me show you in a second here. Excuse me. Let me do one thing for myself though, very fast. Let's see. Looking for something. There you go. All right. Let me pull up my YouTube channel so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And let me pull this up like this so you guys see. Thank you guys for watching my short. I'm getting a little fireworks because it got a few thousand views. So if I go over here to earn, it says my channel remains ineligible for monetization. And it says my appeal focused on a small number of videos on my channel instead of explaining your channel as a whole. In order for your suspension to be overturned, the majority of your channel should follow our policies. Now again, they said to review the initial feedback. Content is not clearly an original creation of this channel and may have been repurposed from another source without adding significant original commentary, substantive modifications, or educational entertainment value. Right? So you guys know I deleted a shit ton of content off of my channel over the last few weeks because I was like getting ready for this appeal process, and because I can't because I lost the appeal, I cannot try to become a member again until like July or some shit. So again, it's just like fuck. But if you go to my channel, I was trying to explain. I was like opening up all my videos and stuff like that, saying, "Hey, look at this. There's no editing needed. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me." You even go over these ones. You know, it's just technical analysis, going over news and stuff like that. There's nothing to be edited and do all that type of stuff. So what I thought they were saying was like content is not clearly an original thing. And so what I thought about was like, okay, how are my shorts doing? So I deleted all my shorts. And you guys see me like this one's about UFC. I'm just talking about it as it's going on. I'm just outside talking about all this stuff, talking. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's my YouTube lives because I show some CNBC content there, right? And then I asked my friend that's had something similar happen before, hey, you know, is it my videos when I talk about CNBC type stuff? And he says, no, it wouldn't be this type of stuff with CNBC because on the thing it says, I do not add a significant original commentary. And you guys know I stop those YouTube videos like every 15, 20 seconds so I don't get in trouble. So he says they wouldn't do it over that. So at this point in time, I actually have no idea the rule I broke. They will not tell me. This is all I get as a creator is my appeal wasn't good enough because I focused on a small number of videos on my channel. Granted, I can only give them a 5-minute video to appeal. If I go 5 minutes in a second, it's an automatic rejection. They don't even look at it, right? And to be frank, I have to do a video where I upload it right here, right? Appeal Michael Whitman. You see this one right here? You see how actually nobody's watched the video? I got 0 views and 0 comments. Nobody's actually watched the video, yet my channel was, the appeal was rejected, right? So nobody actually even watched the video. So that ticks me off even more. But I was trying to figure out, okay, reuse content, right? And it says don't, right? Short videos you compiled of other social media websites, haven't been doing that. Collection of songs of different artists, even though you have their permission, I definitely don't do that. Clips of moments from your favorite show edited together with little or no narrative content. I don't post any TV shows up here with no edited content. And when I do my stuff with CNBC, you guys know I stop every few seconds to talk about what's going on here, right? And then promotion of other people's content, even if you have the permission. I don't promote anybody else's content. I think the most I've done here in the last few weeks is probably talk about how BitBoy's in jail or something like that. But again, there's nothing new there, right? So again, I don't know. They won't tell me what video. So I was like, again, how my mind works is if you tell me I'm doing something bad on YouTube, all I ask is, can you show me the video and what I'm doing wrong so I can see exactly what you're talking about so I can become better and stay within those guidelines, right? Because the way they're framing this, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. And then when you think about this on another level, nobody even watched my appeal video. It should have a 1 there. Just 1, because only 1 person has to watch it. But nobody actually watched it. So, you know, it's been demoralizing. I freaking wanted to meditate a couple days ago when that happened. I was just like, bro, I was like, and again, I have no idea what to do with it. This is where I'm going to go to my local representative, talk to them if I get a chance. I'll probably call, obviously, because it's a little bit further away in Olympia. But yeah, they won't tell me what I did wrong. They can't point to a video and say, this video is what you messed up. This video, this, you know, this part, they can't tell you. Or they refuse to tell me. So, because I don't know, I deleted a whole bunch of content from my channel, as I showed you guys before. And basically what that content did was, let's see if I can show you guys this here. It lasts like 90 days. Give it a second. There you go. Right? You can see how my views were. They were going down a little bit here, but they were okay. I was actually a little bit more demoralized during this time because they demonetized me. And you see my what do you call it? My views just go straight down after I took off all those other videos because I wasn't sure what was going on. Tomorrow you can see this little blip. This is me getting back to my normal content, having more fun with it. Like I said, I was gonna do the other day, and now my views are gonna go up obviously because I'm just posting content, because at this point, I don't know what to do. There is nothing I can do because nobody will tell me what I did wrong. And I've talked to YouTube support. They will not tell me what I've done. So, yeah, it's I don't know, guys. It's just a wild thing. If they told me what I did wrong, I'd be more than willing to say, oh yeah, that's my bad, I'll reapply in a month or something like that, and I'll make sure my channel has nothing like this. But if they don't tell me what I did wrong, how can I get better? Right? So it's just a very weird thing. Very, very weird thing. There we go. Oh, what's right here? Let me back up a little bit more. That should do the trick right there. Any news on the bond markets and who's going to sell? Well, so far it looks like it was actually just corporations deleveraging. The news was saying that China was selling them, and that really scared a lot of people. But China hasn't gone to that extreme just yet. China's been doing some small, little interesting things. So one of the things China's been doing here, which I think has actually been pretty interesting, China's been putting a lot of influencers on TikTok, and they've been talking about how all these expensive things we buy in America, like Nike shoes or designer bags and shit like that. I don't buy Nike shoes. I don't buy designer bags. So all of that stuff, they're showing how much it costs for each individual piece of material, how much it costs for the labor, and talking about how, like, this shoe from Nike, it may cost about $30 to $40 to build, maybe another $10 to ship. So the shoe to China with, like, the new fancy shoes, it'll be around $50 to get into their store, right? Everything said. But then they're selling it for $200, right? So it shows you how they're, they're making massive margins, and they really don't have to be. Excuse me. So it's pretty interesting there. Of course, it is a corporation, so of course they had to pay the staff and things like that. But there's a craziness to how much we're being extorted by corporations for those massive margins. But again, a corporation wants to have big margins so they can make more money. Again, can't blame them. But at the same time, when people learn it, they're not going to be pleasant or, like, happy with you at all. Unemployment is so bad they're waiting. There's a waiting list to get onto the food delivery apps like Grubhub. Oh my God, really? Yeah, for drivers. The homeless you could help for $2.2 billion. See, I don't know if Trump's going to give it to the homeless per se. He'll probably just say we're saving money, and therefore the rest of us should be happy we're not having to spend money on Harvard. Because the federal government, it's so big, it can't really target homelessness. Homelessness has to be dealt with by a city level, and people have to get fed up to a certain degree where they can do something about it. So, for instance, Washington State, we have Seattle. There's a lot of homelessness in Seattle, a lot in Tacoma, close to where I live. Up until a few years ago, there was a lot of homelessness, but people got so fed up, we actually voted out our far left mayor in Seattle, and we voted in a moderate Democrat mayor. Now, he's pretty standard Democrat all through and through, but he had that one thing was like, hey, I was really sent here to fix the homelessness problem and the drug problem. So he actually really did a lot of stuff in that space. So there's a lot of, again, it's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but a lot of parks in Seattle are much cleaner right now. A lot of homeless people have been either put into special hospitals or just kicked out of the city, frankly, because that's what people wanted. There are still a little bit of homeless encampments and things like that, but they're placed a little bit more responsive, not as responsive as they should be, but things are, they're better. They're better because he had to emphasize that he had to put pressure on people in order to do that, and a lot of people didn't want to do that, so he just fired them. He was almost doing that Trump thing, like, hey, if you don't want to follow what the voters told me to do, you're fired. Get out, right? And I like that type of mentality where, say, the voters sent me here because they're pissed off about A, B, and C. Bureaucracy, you work for me, A, B, and C. Let's go. And they'll be like, hey, we know you're new here, but we don't think it's appropriate. Like, we don't think the voters are right about this. So we think we should keep on doing what we're doing, and things should work out eventually. And he's like, no, that's not what the voters said. Fired. I love that type of stuff. But again, it's city by city. And a lot of cities like Portland's horrible. I said Seattle was bad, but Portland's probably the scariest place I've been in a while because of all the homelessness they have over there. I did not see a single clear bridge where there wasn't homelessness underneath the bridge, right? There's just, and if you give the money, if you give the federal grant or something like that to a city, they're so inefficient at spending it because they want to pay their best friend that makes tents or something. They want to pay them $5,000 per tent, when in reality you could buy them for like $50 or $100, right? So it feels like late stage Rome, you know, because there is so much corruption on a state by state, city by city basis. You know, well, who knows what's going to happen at this point with it. But I feel like that type of corruption, like helping your friend by buying some really expensive stuff, you know, that's what's weird. Or they contract all of that out to a company that's supposed to be good with the money, and they're horrible with money. Again, $50 tents turning into like $1,000 tents or $400 tents. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Might as well just order off of Amazon. Like literally, make a deal where Amazon looks very good, where they take off all delivery fees, and everything you order off of Amazon is basically like, you know, order, you know, right? I mean, maybe the government just needs Amazon Prime. Who knows? Harvard has billions in endowments. Oh yeah, they should be fine then. Yeah. Die Hard, best Christmas movie. Let's see. And hey, consulting, happy to see, man. I'm in Austin in a $500,000 house. There's homeless people that live in the woods 2 streets away. I mean, exactly, right? There's just no real fixing it. I think the issue when it comes to homelessness is there's two real types of people out there. There are the homelessness that have a job, they just don't have the ability to find an apartment, and they need help. I'm all for those people. My issue is with the mentally ill and the drug users. I think they should be forcibly moved into state hospitals. We just don't fund those hospitals anymore. But I think we should fund those state hospitals, make sure they're good, make sure they hit some type of regulation or whatever. But I think all homeless people that are not actively trying to get back into a house, they need to be put in a little cell, right? Maybe padded for some of them if they're crazy, and then clean up the streets. Businesses will return. People will feel more safety. The happiness of the community will come back a little bit more, right? And things will get better. Now, how you fix up those people, that's every state, every city is going to have their own reasoning behind it, but it's just not something that's going to be easy to figure out. But I'm much more, I would say, efficient in my thoughts about the homelessness, but there is a feeling that maybe I am too heartless with it, and I can definitely understand that, but like, everything they do is not working. Like, I don't want to give somebody a tent so they can sleep on the street. I want to see if they're crazy, on drugs, or just homeless because they don't have a way to get like an apartment. If they have a job and they're trying their best, let's get more affordable housing in certain parts of town and get them in there. Again, a certain type of person in those apartments, right? And then, of course, there may be more crime in that area, but just put it somewhere where nobody wants to be, and then put more police presence out there. You should be fine. And again, I'm not working on perfection. I'm just working on what would help those people get more houses, more apartments and stuff like that. And then after that, you go with the people that are crazy. You lock those suckers up. You get them the help they need, and maybe they can come back out into society. Sometimes they're just too far gone, so you want to make sure they're at least safe and they're not going to hurt anybody else. And then you got the people on drugs, forcibly fix their drug habits by putting them in another type of mental hospital, same public mental hospital, just different wing or something like that. Rehabilitate them, say, hey, if you go back on the drugs, you're coming right back in here. They're going to have, for like the next 5 years after they go in there, they're going to have a probation officer where they check in with that guy every week or something like that. Maybe a month. I don't know how it's going to be. They do drug tests and everything, and they see how they go. I know that probably infringes on rights and things like that, but that's like my solution to these problems and a very basic 10-second explanation, right? But again, that's kind of how I feel about it. Probably because I've just dealt with so many homeless people in my life. I just don't like them. They're sketchy. Some people they try to jump at you, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guy? Because a couple weeks ago, I was walking with Loki, and this homeless guy tried to like snatch him. And then my first instinct was like, Loki, are you okay? Loki tried to bite the homeless dude, but my next instinct was like, oh shit, that homeless guy could have something really nasty in his blood. Fucking Loki, don't bite him, right? So it's such a weird thing, you know what I mean? And I don't like dealing with that type of stuff. Talking about Loki over here. Oh, look at you. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, do you want another one? Ow. Okay. He doesn't like being teased, apparently. He's a big old baby. And hey, Charmander, happy to see my man. Saw one literally last night on the security cams. Checked my car doors to see if they were unblocked. I got dressed and came out, but he was already gone. Oh yeah. When I used to live actually downtown Tacoma, I used to actually have homeless people like sleep in front of my building's door. So you had to like be careful when you walk out because it could just be a guy sleeping right there. But again, it's not pleasant. But there's no really fix it. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. But right now, guys, we do see Bitcoin for the day is up $232. Sorry, there's like you guys can see the sun blasting my face right now. $220, excuse me. And we really haven't been able to really break this lower high situation here. High, not be able to get back above. High, not able to get back above. Yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to do a stream using Weeks and BYDFi. And what we're going to do is we're going to load up on some tokens. And not load up, but like $100 here, $100 here, $100 here. And see how that works out. I think that should actually work out pretty well. Let's see. And as always, this stream was brought to you guys by BYDFi. So if you guys do want to support the channel, you guys can always sign up there for an exchange. Only if you guys are looking for a new one right now. There's no reason to move if you guys don't have to. Let's see. Oh, and of course, I forgot to get rid of that one. There we are. Let's see. Well, Larry and Haram, if you guys are both in Austin, I may be able to run into you eventually. In Vegas, I was hanging out with CT a little bit. He took me to Tacos El Gordo. This place was freaking good. They had like cow lips there to eat. They also had like the cow tongue. They also had cow eyeballs, but I didn't. They were out of the cow eyeballs. So next time I go back in Vegas, I'm gonna try the cow eyeballs. But I may see you guys there. I don't know. I think I might have missed consensus this year already. Did I? Oh no, it's when is it? It's May 14th through the 16th. Oh, that's Canada's. I might have missed it already. I don't see another thing for America. None of these speakers. And Kevin O'Leary I'd listen to. I don't care for Dave Portnoy too much. I don't see him as like an intelligent type of investor. Scaramucci, no. Chainlink came there. I'd listen to that. Pantera Capital, probably listen to that. Yeah, there's not really much I'd actually listen to with these people. It's like the B League of crypto speakers. Yeah, I think I've already missed it. But what we do have coming up is Bitcoin Vegas 2025. Oh my god, my allergies are gonna kill me. Well, that's the May 27th to the 29th. That's not bad. Wonder how much that would cost actually. I mean, everything always costs more because I got to board Loki up, but let's go over here to Expedia very fast. Packages. Going to Seattle, I'll go to Las Vegas. I got $2.01 and 1 key cash. Awesome. I think I used like $50 of it for the trip I just took. First class. And I'd be to the 27th. I'd probably get there a date early, so the 26th, and I'd leave the 29th is when this one ends, right? I'd probably stay till the Friday. I'd be 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. That's not bad. I might have my friend watch Loki instead, though, if I'm going to be there that long. They said this year to the Venetian too. The Venetian's expensive as a place. I like the Venetian. I've been there a few times. Well, technically it's the Palazzo I've been to, but not the Venetian. But that area is all the same thing. Yeah, Mandalay Bay, $1,000. Actually, that's a pretty good deal right there. $1,000 for 4 days, 5 days. That's nice. Aria is 1200. The win is 15. Wow, the win is pretty cheap during that time too. Why is the win so cheap? Interesting. Okay. Fountain Blues 1200. I don't think people are going to Vegas. These prices are actually really crazy. I don't think people are going to Vegas. Oh, look at that. The Palazzo, $2,400. Look at that. My freaking God. Venetian, $2,600. I wonder. Go over here to maps very fast. Is that the Four Seasons or something? Yeah, Four Seasons, of course, with that price down that low in the strip. Okay, here we go. Is that Circa? Circa's only $1,200. That would be even better. I like Circa a lot just because they have a nice cigar lounge on top. Like this right here is where, not this one, but like slightly to the right, I sit over here and I just like ponder everything when I'm in Vegas at night. I know the guy that is the closer for this place. He's a really chill guy, and he helps me find tables and stuff sometimes. See, it's way up here. The pool's over there, but like maybe I'll try that. That's kind of far away from the expo. I don't know. I see that's kind of far away from the expo. So I'd have to be Ubering a lot. And sometimes in traffic can be pretty bad. Let's see. Okay, now what I'm going to do. What's the cheapest? Probably get some sketchy place. What the heck is this? Boschitels? B Postals. I don't know what that means. Super 8. Okay. Super 8 is $300 cheaper than Mandalay Bay. That's crazy. That means Super 8 is incredibly overpriced. Although I am paying like $50 a night in resort fees, so maybe that's the difference. Super 8 is probably not going to have some resort fees. What's the most expensive thing? The Venetian, Tropicana Desert, Palazzo, Venetian, Gorgeous Suites Vidara. Let's see, Four Seasons. I'm not Four Seasons rich, but I want to be Four Seasons rich. Or, could I afford it? Yes. Do I think I should afford it as a properly, like, frugal guy? No. No. Nomad, no. Let's see, Hilton Club. Crockford's English Hotel. I have no idea. Yeah, none of these seem like they're worth the price right now. I mean, the win is worth the price. I mean, what was I talking about? I could go have a spa day at the Wynn. Oh, I haven't had that before. That might be interesting. Bellagio's $1,500. I don't know. I probably just choose Mandalay Bay because I love Mandalay Bay. Mandalay Bay has massive basic rooms, so I never feel the need to get a suite. Like if I'm going over here to, hold on a second here. I think Mandalay Bay was close to the top, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, right there, yeah. I think they have some pretty nice rooms here. They have a spa. I've spent a lot of time at their spa. A lot of freaking time at their spa. One time their water was broken for a morning and I had to go to a meeting and I was ticked off. So they gave me like 2 free spa days and they gave me like all my resort credit off because I was fucking heated. You know when you go to bed really grimy, you can only do that in Vegas. Like normally I take a shower before I go to bed because I don't want to grime up the bed day after day after day. In Vegas, you can grime up the bed, you wake up, you take a shower, then you're fine because somebody replaces all your sheets and stuff the next morning. It's really nice, but you can't do that day to day, right? So I get the Resort King. They have a Stay Well Resort King. I've never had that one. Premier King Suite. I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's massive or anything, but it's fine. This is like the standard, I think, for a lot of people. But again, Elite Suite. Only 7.4 out of 8, or 10. So we're not the best thing there. If you want the Reef Suite, what the heck is the Reef Suite? Oh, it's like 1,300 square foot. Holy shit. Damn, I'm not tossing another $3,000 in there. 1-bedroom penthouse sky view. It's actually sold out, probably by somebody going to the crypto event. Wow. Panoramic 2-bedroom suite king, yeah. Shit. Everything else is sold out. Yeah, there's some big people coming to the Mandalay Bay. Interesting. Yeah, but yeah, again, guys, I'll be there pretty soon. I'll probably end up going to Mandalay Bay. I'm gonna be cheap. Not like Motel 8 cheap, but like, you know, Mandalay Bay cheap. Let's see. If I feel bougie, I'll go to the Wynn. But in reality, actually the Aria is pretty close as well, but I think Mandalay. Actually, hold on a second. I should keep on looking at the map because I might want to just walk to the Venetian instead of like taking an Uber every freaking a few hours. Because the Venetian is right here. What's across Treasure Island? $823. Has anybody been to the Treasure Island before? I don't know. I don't think I'd probably like it. It looks kind of a little run down when I've been inside of it, but I haven't. They have a spa too. Interesting. Okay. Run of the house. I don't want to have something that says run of the house. Strip view room. Tower suite. Doesn't feel so much as a suite because it's not walled off in certain sections. Petite suite. The heck is a petite suite? I love that I have a standard, but Harrah's. I've been to Harrah's a couple of times. That wasn't bad. What's the 1400? Nobu Hotel, Caesar's Palace. I'm not a fan of Caesar's typically. Flamingo. What about Resorts World? I could see at Trump International. You know, his kids are probably going to be staying there. Let's see. Encore at Wynn Las Vegas. $1,500 Wynn. Maybe I'll go to the Wynn. Maybe pop up a few extra bucks. How much are resort fees at the Wynn? It really just might be the spa that sells it to me. It might just be that. And it's first class on top of it. Yeah, I'll see how it turns out. I'll be pretty excited with that. But okay, buddy, I'm going to call it a night right here. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. We're going to be chilling. Right now, Bitcoin short-term is bullish, but be careful of a sudden downturn here because of that weekly momentum. We may see Bitcoin try to reach up to 86, 87,000 bucks before getting pushed back down. So there could be some upside tonight, but as the market opens up tomorrow, we may see it actually kind of fall back down. Okay, so keep it close, right? You know, and we'll see how it goes. And hey, Rashango, what do you call it? Love Wynn. Wynn is one of my favorite hotels. I just don't go there too much because of the cost. But for that trip, $1,500 plus first class ticket from Seattle to Vegas, that's actually pretty reasonable right there. Typically, when I like been there, I think it's been like $1,000 a night, like $500 a night. It's been a lot more expensive. So if I'm there for like what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? No, sorry, that's Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, it's like 4 days. Hold on a second here. See, I'm about to lose my mind now all of a sudden. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yes, 5 days. 5 days, $1,500 at the Wynn plus first class tickets. Yeah, that's really good. I may book it through Wynn and get the flight separate to see if it saves me any money because I do like to fly Spirit right now. Spirit's been unbelievably nice to me. Last time I flew in Delta, I was actually pretty ticked off with their service, so I've been sticking with Spirit. If you guys know, the only difference between Spirit and Delta, as of I know right now, are two things. Spirit, you can only use one check-in bag when you get there first class, not two free check-in bags, which in Vegas I don't really need two. And the other thing is, waiting for the bag at the airport at Spirit probably takes another 15 minutes compared to Delta. That's the only two differences I've really seen. And I've flown a lot on both of them, so hope you guys all have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you guys a little bit later. Get ready for some more content here as well. I'm just going to be doing a lot of stuff as I go. For as far as YouTube is, it's not telling me what I did wrong. I'm just going to have to live with it. That's not going to stop me from just making content, having a good time with you guys, so chill.